Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be trying to make a game in Scratch. Now I've got an idea on what I want to make. I want to make some sort of like city building game. This game's going to be all about like managing resources and looking after the people that live in your little colony. To be honest, I'm just kind of sort of working it out as I go along. So first we're going to have to make some sort of like grid placing system, which I don't really know how to do. So that looks promising. Oh Jesus Christ! Right, so I just borrowed that code. So now hopefully, I mean that's not what we wanted, but hey, at least we're getting somewhere. Right, and just like that, we have it working. So now we're gonna make it when we click, it creates a clone, because then it will leave one behind, and then we can actually start placing down some tiles. Right, so now I've made it so you can toggle when you want to build. So when you press P, it appears, and when you press P again, it disappears. And now, if we press down on it, it leaves a clone behind, meaning we can now place tiles. It's a bit janky, but to be honest, it'll do. So now we're going to have to make different tiles and create some new conditions for them. So I just made two different tiles, which are two different colours. The blue one's going to be, you know, where people can sleep and things like that. And then the grey one's going to be like a hallway, like a connector, so that you can actually connect each tiles instead of just having them all in one big clump. Because I feel like it would be a lot better if the colony had an actual structure to it. Okay, so now we have it working. You can see here when I press 1, it switches to the dorm, and then I can place that. Then when I press 2, it changes the variable up here, and then it places a hallway tile. And then you can just keep on connecting them. Although right now there's no actual rules for each of them, like there's no conditions to make sure they're following the rules that I want them to. So now I'm going to have to make a bunch of conditions to make them follow those rules. So as you can see, if I get the dorm tile up and I try clicking, nothing happens, and that's because it doesn't have a connecting piece to connect to. However, if I go onto the connector piece, start slapping a few of them down, and then switch over to the dorm room, we can just start putting them all on the sides, but no matter how much I try, they won't do it without a little connecting piece. I made a few adjustments so that now we have a capacity and a population. So now when we place the dorm, it changes the capacity by 3. And then if the population is smaller than the capacity, then eventually the population will start trickling in. So now we got people moving into our colony. I think it's about time we put these people to work. So next on my little list here, we got a farm to make, because obviously people need food. By the way, I made the background a little muddy red because I thought it'd be cool if it was a Mars colony. So there's been some major work done here. So I've made a few more variables, of course, because that's the only thing this thing is running on, if I'm honest. So we've got unemployed people. So now when I place a few dorms, the amount of unemployed people go up because obviously there's nowhere they can work. And you'll also notice that as the population increases, every couple seconds the food goes down. Now if I place a farm tile down and we get a few more farm workers coming in, we start producing food, and each farm worker produces 2 food each. So as you can see, we got 4 farm workers, which means we're making 8 food every 2 seconds. And since we've only got 6 people, we're making a total profit of 2 food a second. So that's our first like main resource done basically. But to be honest, this whole thing's getting kind of messy and I don't like how it looks, so I think it's about time we spruce up the whole project. So I'll come back to you in like 20 minutes time, and hopefully it'll be looking a lot better. So I've tidied everything up now. As you can see up here, we got our population and our capacity and the amount of food we have, how many people are unemployed. Down here we have a way to actually switch between each of the different buildings you can place. And then we have these little stats down here to show you how many farm workers you have and how many you can have. I've also made a little dead zone, so you can't place anything on the little menu bits. But yeah, just like before, you can place things, and if we place a few bedrooms down here, a few farms, See, now when I press P again and I turn off the placing mechanic, it then switches to the more artistic way of viewing your little colony. Now, I wanted to keep it so it looked like that all the time, even when you were placing it, but the reason why I couldn't do that is because the way the conditions work for how they're placed is by finding what colours it's touching. So that's how it knows if it's touching the corridors or anything like that. And then obviously if I have it like this, then it's not going to be able to detect as easily which ones it's touching. But to be honest, I think it's pretty cool that we have two ways to view your colony, because it could get a bit complicated, especially once you got a larger colony, and it might get a bit hard to understand what's going on. And I've also randomized the amount of food that each farm makes. It'll make in between 1 and 3 food per farm worker, because that way you're more uncertain on how stable your colony may be, which will hopefully drive the difficulty up. Because as I was playing, I kept on finding that we're making a ridiculous amount of food. And I've also slowed down how fast the food updates and how fast it goes away. Now it's every 5 seconds instead of 2, because otherwise things would just go way too fast and you wouldn't be able to keep up. But yeah, I think that's it from me today, guys. I know I say this a lot, but I will actually make a part 2 to this, because to be honest, it was pretty fun just mucking about, seeing what I could do. I mean, I haven't really got a very good track record, you know, of actually keeping my promises, but I've got quite a few good ideas for this game. And this video has been a different kind of video than I usually do. I think the reason why I slowly stopped posting on my last channel was just because I'd have to make a game, record it all, make a script, record that, then edit it all together, and the whole process took like 6-7 hours. But this way I can make a game, comment throughout it, and, you know, be a lot more efficient with my game making. Comment any suggestions on what you might want me to add. I'm thinking of adding natural disasters and things like that, because, you know, Mars with its dust storms and all that shenanigans. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.